There was no money left at all. When it was time at the end to finish the bathroom and I needed a mirror for the bathroom, there was no money for that mirror. The last dime I had went into buying fish for the first week that I opened. It was all or nothing.
Just take me from the beginning.
I was born in Brooklyn, Sheepshead Bay, Coney Island. My people laugh at me here all the time because I say it like that when people ask me. My parents immigrated my mom from Russia, St. Petersburg, Leningrad. My father from Belarus, Minsk. They met here in Brooklyn. Blind date. Yeah. Funny story. My dad tried to pick my mother up in Brooklyn. Like he saw her walking down the street and he honked his horn or something like that, something crazy. And she just walked away. And the very next day, my father's friend said, "Would you like to meet a woman?" And they were walking down the boardwalk and my father was like, "That's the girl I tried to pick up." And they were having dinner with some friends and they were like on a bet. My father jokingly was like, "You want to get married?" And they got married. And they've been married ever since. Over 50 years now, I think. Yeah. I still to this day say that I'm not a chef. I just finished culinary school because to me a chef is someone who worked in a kitchen and broke his balls in one of those kitchens, who got a frying pan thrown at his head. That's a chef. And I never had that, you know. So to this day I still say I'm not a chef. Although most people call me chef and say that I'm a chef. No one around me believes that this is going on here. Like, we have been fortunate enough to be packed since we opened up every day since we've opened.
Good morning, Mama. How you doing?
I'm truly blessed.
Well, you see me on the Food Network next year.
Yeah.
Thank you. I say that all the time. Everybody sees the glory, but nobody knows the story. Up real early and out real late. I got to do all the little things. I don't buy enough product to get deliveries of like water and soda. So I got to get there and do it myself. The rest of it's fun. I mean, even all this is fun too, but just sometimes it gets tiresome. I'm no spring chicken anymore.
So my father came to this country. He was a tool and die craftsman. He made the tools for jewelry companies. He did a lot of things. He did jewelry, owned a taxi company. He drove a dial limousine.
Getting to the airport can be stressful.
And then he got into the fur business. I dropped out of high school. When I dropped out, what I do? I smoked a lot of pot. And hung out and sat on the couch and, you know, did stupid teenager Brooklyn things. Hung out in the park, got into fights, did bad things. And my father was like, "You're either gonna end up dead or in jail, because all you're doing is going to clubs." And he made me start working in the factory. I started working in the factory young. As a kid, I worked in the factory when I was 13, sewing buttons, putting poly bags on jackets. I mean, everything, cleaning bathrooms. I mean, I started from the, you're gonna work here, you're gonna do everything. And from there, I just, learned every craft that I could in the factory. Learned how to sew, learned how to do patterns, went to FIT for like a couple of months just to learn a little bit of pattern work, and then learned how to do it myself in the factory. We had a lot of employees. We had over 100 employees at one time. We used to do everybody, from Liz Claiborne to Donna Karen to Coach. And then when I got older and I got my own customers, there were times where I would have people like Diddy call me on the phone. Be like, I need this for Fashion Week. He's a huge guy, so when you get a call, like, okay. So weekends when my dad would go to work during Fashion Week, I would go. I wanted to hang around next to my dad. The same reason my daughter works here. She doesn't want to work here. Or maybe she does because she's around me, I think. But yeah, it's family, yeah. Russian people are like that. It's family, yeah. It's not about family business. Family's family, where it doesn't matter, yeah. We ride out for each other. I just didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to do the fashion thing anymore. My father was still at work. My father had a back surgery, so he was out of commission for a little while. And, things were changing at work, My dad didn't want to work anymore. My mom was getting older. She didn't want to work anymore. I knew I didn't want to do that anymore. So I was continuously looking for something to do with food. We had a TV in the factory, in the office, and the only thing that was ever on was Food Network.
Hey, we're making crispy whole striped bass with a red tomatillo sauce.
All right, welcome back to Iron Chef America. This is a battle featuring two great Iron Chefs.
And whenever we were in the office, we were just watching, and I was always like, damn, man, one day. And finally one day I was like, I'm gonna go. Nights and weekends, I called it, because I did 5:45 to 10:45, 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I think. It was hard, because I was working full time and I had the second baby on the way. And I finished school and whatever. Nothing ever came of it. What I really wanted to do was to open up a food hall. So I wrote a business plan for this food hall of mine. And then a friend of mine, close friend of mine, introduced me to somebody, and he said he would give me the money. But he said that I needed to have some skin in the game. And I ended up getting screwed out of a business deal, lost my house, lost my business, lost a lot of things. Took a long time to get here. Let's keep it just like that. I had to sell my house. I was closing my business. It was a year of wasted time that this guy, did to me. And all throughout this, my wife was with me and we're going through all this. It's a fucking roller coaster. A roller coaster. And, excuse me, a lot of talking. I need to get something to drink.
To me, the best salmon there is back and frost. It's huge, beautiful fish. Back and frost from the Faroe Islands. It's farmed, but it's farmed in the ocean. So what I do is I just make a little incision here in the tail so that it's easy to lift. Right, and I just put this right here. It's the only salt that should ever be used in the kitchen. Diamond crystal kosher salt. Make it rain.
People always ask me how I got into this and why I got into this, and it was really for the love of sushi. Some of my favorite times were just going out for omakase to the legends. Going out for omakase was where I fell in love with food again. It wasn't just about the food when I was opening this place. It was really, for me, it was about, I'm doing this, like, I have to be the best at it now. So the beginning menu wasn't what it is today. It was, it was a piece of tuna. And then the tuna with the 3 garlics came. It was a piece of salmon. And then I started doing the salmon with the toasted sesame. And the pieces just started to evolve into what they are now. And then I started to add, caviar to the menu. And then the new piece came up, the last couple of weeks, the Wagyu with the foie gras and the truffle, because the truffle became in season. And I started to find my groove in the kitchen, and eating at great restaurants, I just knew what my pieces were gonna taste like. Even in the beginning, when I started making the rice, I knew that it was gonna change. And 6 months down the road, it did. And it only got better. And I told everybody from the beginning that, it's great now, but in 6 months, it's gonna be much better. It just became a whole new world in here. And even through all that turmoil, I would still go out for dinner because I would still wait for my wife. From 5 to 7 every day, I would go out to eat by myself. Almost every day. Sometimes people would meet me, sometimes they wouldn't. And I would just sit there and be like watching them put this food together, this sushi. I've already been to the Culinary Institute, and I would just sit there and just be like, I could do that. I want to do that. I've wanted to do this my whole life. And I'm sitting on my couch from December 25th to June 1st. And my wife is like, what are you gonna do? And we were getting to that breaking point. My wife was like, you gotta do something, you gotta find something. Let's go look around together on my day off. And the original idea was that we were looking to open up a deli somewhere. Had my mind set on opening up a deli. Babe. Yeah. Bye. The minute we walked in here, my wife and I looked at each other and said, this would make the most perfect little sushi spot. And like a light bulb went up in my head, and I said, yeah. And she looked at me and goes, what do you know about sushi? Except for how to eat it. I go, I don't know, but I'm gonna make it happen. And my focus was on making sushi from that day, which was only 6 months. And I'm writing a menu, for me. And I'm writing an omakase menu because that's what I wanted to eat here, because there was nothing like that around here. We've tried all the sushi restaurants in here, and they were Americanized sushi. And that's not what sushi is. Heavy spicy mayo and soy sauce on everything. But the customers who understood what I was trying to do here, they appreciated it. And they just kept coming back. It was funny because when I was writing the menu and I had pieces on the menu that were like $25, $30, like the Big Mac, my wife was saying, who's gonna pay you $25 for one piece of sushi? Who's gonna pay you $12 for a piece of Wagyu? Who's gonna pay you $18 for a triple decker or $15 for uni? I'm like, I think that if people aren't going to the city, and COVID is just starting to free up, people are gonna wanna sit at a bar and talk to people again. And it was perfect timing for me. When we were putting together the menu, I remember day one, like, almost all the pieces didn't have toppings yet. You know, we were still building. It was the first day. So if you look at the first pictures of the omakase, hamachi didn't even have a jalapeno on it yet. Salmon didn't have toasted sesame on it. And the akami didn't come with 3 garlics or truffle or avocado mousse or, you know, the different variations. The menu just kept evolving, and today it's even better. Starting from the hamachi, when you get that first pop of flavor in your mouth, all the way down to the bottom. That list is just straight bangers, from first bite to the last. I come to work the happiest I've ever been in my life because I get to do what I love. I get to be around people all day and be me. Pour them a drink, ask them about their day, and I know every one of those customers' names now. They've become regulars. When they come in here, I say, welcome home, because they come 2 times, 3 times a week, and they tell me, we don't go anywhere else for sushi anymore. Now they come and have sushi in a new way. And a lot of my customers, their first omakase experience didn't come from a masa or a nakazawa or not, but from a Jewish kid from Brooklyn. I've been fortunate to be a creative and work in many different fields. I hope I landed in, I hope I've landed in my last one. Let's put it that way. I hope to do this forever.
Let's all play it off now. I didn't know.
My daughter's face.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
He was saying a year ago, it was just 3 of us. 4 was kind. This is a team that became a reality. The whole family was very supportive, and I thank you guys for being just as supportive. So here, work is free tonight. That's what it was all about. They all go
Tuesday from UMAI Sushi. It's a beautiful day as usual. Amazing to be here. Thank God. Thank you to everybody in the area for supporting us. Omakase.